helping people dream about a sustainable world where we live in harmony with the environment. The Chinese are asking me now to chair a task force on the ecological society, how you grow an economy and then have harmony, inclusive growth, and also environmental sustainability. In my country, no, I'm an enemy of the state. Every minister, the party structure, security has to make sure we stop this guy. Because the elite would not want transparency.
But the irony is, Dr. Michael, you probably know a lot of these people from your childhood.
Yes, I know.
So these are friends of yours from before.
Yes.
And yet still they will go and toe the party line when it comes to
And they've forgotten that we had a civil war caused by a generation that did the same bad practice. And some of them used to be on the picket lines with me, demonstrating against the one-party state. But today they enjoyed power.
So when you sit with them, and talk to them, don't they feel embarrassed and ashamed?
No way. There are people who show off because you've achieved so much. They show off by telling you how many houses they've built in 2 years. Yeah. You know, I mean, they're celebrating somebody now opening a mall. I mean, just this week. I'm sorry I have to talk about him. He had nothing in his declaration when he became a minister. But Mr. President, and everybody is praising him as an entrepreneur, opening a supermarket and building houses within 5 years. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. I know what you earn as a minister. So you celebrate corruption. And the people feel that all you have to do is get a position and you make it. So people like me and others who talk about discipline and so on, they see you as anachronistic and archaic. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know reality.
And probably see you again as, I've seen this around the continent, young people, because you're still very young, young people that want to go into these positions of power, they want to run for presidency. They're almost dismissed as, you know, you're too young. What do you know? Go back to your mother's
and yet
lap,
in the UK, I mean, Obama was what, 46?
Exactly. The US, the UK.
How old was Clinton?
They're all young.
His Excellency Cameron.
Yes.
Haig, when he also was leading the Conservatives. In my country, we dismiss folks like those. The worst ones are people like me who talk transformation. What are you talking about? In one country that I don't name, when you talk about transformation and infrastructure, they say, look, the man, they talk infrastructure, me, they talk stomach architecture. Meaning it's now, it's about today.
You never know what's going to happen.
You never know. So,
we seem to live in 5-year cycles on this continent.
It's worse than 5-year cycles. People, let me tell you, it's worse. I have talking to people who were former ministers, and you realize they were thinking in 2-year terms. Why? They say, I don't know when the old man will move me. So I have 2 years to make it. Even if he moves me, fires me, I've made it. And made it has a simple connotation. It's the same with heads of parasites. So the whole fabric of public service, accountability, doing service for the benefit of the next generation, bam, killed.
But we've got a couple of leaders that are coming up. I mean, look at Magufuli in Tanzania. Seems to be transforming Tanzania. President Buhari in Nigeria also seems to want to make a difference. Are we celebrating these kinds of leaders enough?
We have to. We have to celebrate good leadership, and it's hard. To discipline a political economy of corruption is tough. You know, I remember the story. I met Rubadu, the anti-corruption guy, once in Norway. He had just run away. He said, here I am, the guy who wanted to fix corruption. I had to run away because the very corrupt guys I was going after would bribe people to kill me. And now they control the government. Our own anti-corruption guy, Abdul Tijan Kohl, had to run away. Once I met him in Vienna in an anti-corruption conference, and we were joking, and I said, so how are you catching the rats? He says, some rats are too big, they're bigger than the cat itself. So, and there's a psyche here. People tell you, become corrupt and become too big to be handled. It's like, you know, in the 2008 with the financial crisis, too big to fail. In some locations, it has become too big for them to approach you. Because then you control government, you control security service, you can bribe your way through everything. I mean, the drug trade in our sub-region. There are things happening in our sub-region that scares me. And I say to the international community, you don't want additional failed states. When you have Boko Haram in Nigeria, Al-Qaeda already in Mali, coming down to Burkina Faso, attacking Cote d'Ivoire. So for some of us wanting to do leadership, it is to make sure you don't have additional failed states and you lose West Africa. Because why? The good things require systems, structures beyond an individual,
transparency,
accountability, results. African countries will tell you, oh, we allocated $500 or $1 billion to roads. Okay, we know the allocation. What we want to hear is how many miles of roads were built. But it's always about allocation. We are doing well because we allocated so much. Where are the results? In the Asian economies where I go, of course there is corruption. But honest to God, they know the trajectory. The trajectory is to be productive, produce products that others can buy, create an enabling environment where others want to invest in your country. Unfortunately, in some narrow-minded political elite, that does not work here because it's complicated to do the right thing. But if you do the right thing, it puts your nation on a path and a trajectory to grow. That's what Jerry Rawlings did in Ghana. Yeah?
And so when...
That's what Kagame has done in Rwanda.
So when you become president of Sierra Leone...
I like when, not if.
When you become president of Sierra Leone. Being a Muslim, is that used against you sometimes? The fact that, you know, you might be a sympathizer to Boko Haram. Are political opponents, not just in Sierra Leone, but around the continent, starting to use religion as a weapon against their opponents?
Well, in my part of the world, people use every tool. Yeah. I'm very proud being a Muslim. I mean, if there's one thing anybody should know, is my spirituality. I so believe in the power of the Almighty. Yeah, from both Christianity and Islam, that I'm not scared of anybody or anything, and I believe I should speak my mind. So I have not experienced it directly, but I know in African politics, people use everything, tribe, religion, anything, to hold on to power, especially to hold on. Part of my family is going to be angry with me that I'm so blunt here. They've told me, no, don't rock the boat, be nice, the government will not come after you, their boys will not bump you off when you're jogging along the streets, because I jog as well. And even that I've been advised that you're beginning, I challenged the president wanting to go third term. You know, I was on radio and people called and warned me, why are you doing that? They were angry. I said, no, I'm speaking my mind. I'm against one-party state. Yeah. Now we're doing a constitutional review. They want to vest in the hands of the president the power to dismiss the chief justice, vice president, all of that. It is wrong fundamentally. We had a history of that which we chose to change. We can't go back to what caused the war. In fact, this will be worse. We can't have a supreme authority.
We'll be right back with Dr. Kande Yumkela. Stay with me. Hi, welcome back. I'm here with Dr. Kande Yumkela. Doc, you're still a young man. The future, we've talked a little bit about the political ambitions and where you're going next, but what do you see in your future for the next 5 or 10 years?
In the next 5 or 10 years, I'm hoping indeed that I could be given the privilege to serve my people as president, to bring to them everything I've learned about structural change, transformation, inclusive growth, competitiveness that I've seen around the world. Thanks to my work in the UN, thanks to my exposure to corporates, technology centers in my work globally. That's one track. If that doesn't work, I still hope that I can contribute to my country with ideas through civil society, through business. I will continue my global advocacy, my global work. I love it. I've been one of the lucky few who got a job where he could use all of himself. We're all multidimensional. Yeah, we're not just one person. And thank God I had that opportunity that I could use every skill that I have developed over 30 years in a number of careers. So I really look forward, even if politics does not work, and I've told people, if my party decides that I'm not the nominee, I will not be sad. I'll be happy because I had to give up something because I believed I could help my people. But then I'll have a lot to do, you know. I mean, there are people calling me. I have had to say no for 8 months now to many calls for me, either to give a lecture in a university or play an advisory role for an institution.
So you'll have no shortage of things to do to keep you busy.
Yeah.
Regrets as well. Again, even though you're a young man still, you've had a full life up to now. Regrets, if you could do it all again and I gave you a clean slate and said, Doc, do it all again, what would you change, if anything?
I regret that I never could learn French, even though trying to study it for 15 years.
Why is that? Just
You know, you realize in life, God does not give you everything. And the French invested in me twice to go to their best French training institutions.
So just no year for languages.
It just did not work.
French in particular, or other languages?
German.
So languages
I lived in Vienna.
So languages
my
in
wife
general.
learned German. I could not. And I realized that, that's one talent I don't have. So for me, that's a big regret. What else is there? I don't know. The good Lord gave me so much. I achieved so much in my time that I say, Alhamdulillah. And, thanks be to God.
The show's called The Scoop, Dr. Yumkela. I asked my guests to tell me something about them that hopefully nobody in the world knows. What would your scoop be?
Well, something, my daughter and my wife know this, that I talk to myself. Yeah. So I'm jogging and suddenly I'm imagining myself delivering a speech at Carnegie Hall on a topic that may be out of this world. Before I give a speech, I say a prayer. Yeah, people don't know that because it's silent. Sometimes it's just meditation. I sit at the table, like in Europe, with European royalty. Privilege is given to me by the Almighty. And I say a prayer. Thank God Almighty. And it can be in any form. It can be a Christian prayer or Islamic prayer. It just comes to my head. I give praise and thanks that I have this privilege to sit at this table, a guy from a small village, less than 250 households, sitting here with royalty of Europe, or sitting with a CEO of a corporation that has an annual revenue of maybe $5–10 billion. I have met some of the richest men in the world: Bill Gates, Ted Turner, Aliko Dangote, Tony Elumelu, Azim Premji. I have had the privilege in my career to meet Carlos Slim. Carlos Slim hosted a meeting for me in Mexico when he was the richest man in the world on energy systems. So there are times I sit there and give praise to the Almighty for making it happen. And of course, thank my parents too.
And that's The Scoop with Dr. Kande Yumkela. Join me again next week when I'll be talking to yet another great African personality. From me and the entire team of The Scoop, from Nairobi, Kenya, thanks for watching. Dr. Yumkela, asante sana, as they say here in Nairobi. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Asante sana to you too.
In the French part, I hope you got that part. Thank you for coming on.
In Sierra Leone, we say tenki tenki.
Tenki tenki.
Yes.
Tenki tenki. I like that.